Washington State also has a really good schedule. The more you kind of dive into what's going to be happening here, the Cougars, there's they're going to be home for Idaho to kick it off. But then they're on the road at Davidson. They're hosting Washington, who many people believe is going to be a top 20 team this year. They're at the Maui, and so they will get plenty of opportunity there. They do open with Chaminade, which obviously is not the best opening draw. But then they'll either get Arizona State or Texas, Boise State, NC State, Seton Hall, USC are all in that tournament. They're going to be on the road for Bradley again, on the road for USC. They'll be playing Eastern Washington in Spokane, home for Nevada. This is a really good schedule that Washington State has put together. Now, we kind of talked a little bit about where they are in the preseason rankings as far as how much that this team is going to have to overcome versus what we saw a year ago. Brand new team, brand new roster. Maybe they didn't do as well as we thought they might in the portal, but this team is going to get plenty of opportunities to prove itself, and it could go very well. Again, like, they don't have to win them all to really prove themselves, but it could also go very poorly if this team doesn't kind of figure it out quickly.
I do think the build back respect is kind of like the phrase I think that I associate with this Washington State schedule. So last year, I think it was a year that many people wanted to forget in some respects. Like Washington State, they started out really hot. You beat Boise State, you're feeling good. You go on the road, you beat Nevada when Nevada was looking good, and then it just all kind of fell apart at the seams after that. So I think this year, when you think of building what David Riley wants to envision for his program, build back respect is the one thing I think Washington State is trying to do with this schedule. And you mentioned at Davidson. Davidson kind of has to figure out some gremlins of their own. I think St. Thomas is honestly a pretty formidable team. Like on their own, you think of them in the Summit League. I'm pretty sure like they're not a team where you think of St. Thomas and they're the big bad dogs, but they're a very capable team that can come out and bite you. So I respect them scheduling St. Thomas. Obviously, Washington, they're going to have to get a lot better under Danny Sprinkle. We'll kind of just wait and see on that. It's another one of those unproven teams at this point. And then, like you said, once they get to the Maui Invitational through the USC stretch, I think that's the one thing where you kind of understand what this team's going to be, because you're going to have pretty solid games for a good few weeks in a row. And when Washington State, when I mentioned build back respect, that requires not only competing, but obviously trying to come out the other side with some wins. But at minimum, not letting go of the rope, because obviously that was the big deal last year when the Cougars just couldn't stop that from happening. So they don't let go of the rope here. They are competitive. Even if they lose some of those games and go 500 in that stretch, I think that's all well and fine because you're just trying to build back respect.